my name's Aaron Whitnall and I would like to welcome you to my home, which also happens to be a zoo, Paradise Wildlife Park in Broxbourne, Hertfordshire.
"32 years ago, Peter Sampson stumbled across the worst zoo in the UK and decided to buy it. Despite having no zookeeping experience, he fell in love with the animals and started work to rejuvenate the struggling park.
I think the hardest thing in the early days, when we knew very little about animal welfare, animal care, it took us a long while to convince people we were doing it for the right reasons rather than the wrong reasons.
Now Paradise Wildlife Park has expanded. The organisation has a second site dedicated to their big cats and supports conservation projects worldwide. And the future of the park is ensured by Peter's passionate children and grandchildren.
I originally helped out just in the first year. I was actually working somewhere else in travel and tourism, and came over just on days off and evenings just to help out with the animals, and 32 years later I'm still here. Being able to raise the children at the side of the park has just been absolutely amazing. So it's been their back garden.
All three of Lynn's children are involved in the park, but eldest son Aaron has forged a strong love for wildlife.
Growing up on the zoo as a kid in primary school, it was normal life, so I didn't really know anything different. You don't really think, oh, I live at a zoo, that's weird. The fact that we could play hide and seek for like 2 weeks because we'd never find each other around the zoo. And you know, being around animals, it was all fun, but you don't really appreciate it until you get that little bit older, you know.
For the family, living at the zoo created an unbreakable bond with the animals.
So we actually looked after Zara, our lion cub, at home for about 4 or 5 months. Having the lion cub in the house with the children was lovely because obviously they helped nurture her and you know, they were with her as she was growing up over those first few months. I think it was educational for both of them and great fun. But Aaron did actually sleep with Zara for a couple of months. There was a couple of times where he was quite tired at school because through the night she wanted to play. And we did actually get a call from the school saying that was there a problem at home, and Aaron had actually said in class that he was sleeping with a lion cub, and obviously they felt that he wasn't being quite truthful.
Hey guys. I think the hardest things, firstly from an animal point of view, remembering that they're not going to live as long as you are. And they do fall ill, and it's incredibly sad. You know, there's been times where I've absolutely been bawling my eyes out, and sometimes you're not always going to get the answers as well. Like people, animals can just drop down dead. One of the things that has really helped me, what I was saying about the upbringing, being brought up as a keeper, but also being brought up as a family that own a wildlife park or 2 wildlife parks, is I've been able to look at the real big picture of things and see what I can do to really help inspire people. Doing what I do now, which mainly revolves around things like the big cats, because for my family that was such a big thing because they generally tend to be my granddad's passion. That's always been pretty amazing. So, you know, growing up's just been awesome, in a word. You know, luckiest guy alive.
So I think we're most proud of the fact of when we first bought it, it was one of the worst zoos in the UK. And with our family and the team that we have, we've transformed it over the years into one of the best small zoos in the UK and possibly Europe, which is wonderful.